Welcome back to the Common Gourmet. This week I wanted to take the Common Gourmet and really put it together. I want to do something that's simple, quick, doesn't require technically a lot of ingredients you wouldn't normally find in the house or that aren't easily gotten. But I wanted to make something that looks nice, tastes nice, and can be a real treat. So this week we're making a chocolate peanut butter pie. It's something that you can make every night for the family, or you can take it to a party at work. You can take it to, a big gathering. You can change it up. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. So let's Common Gourmet it up and make some peanut butter pie. Alrighty. We've got 2/3 of a cup of sour cream in the mixing bowl here. I'm going to add another 2/3 cup of smooth peanut butter. Chunky can be used, but it does something weird with the texture, so I don't recommend it. To this, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, confectioner sugar, whatever you want to call it, 2 tablespoons of whipped cream, whipping cream. I know some places call it double cream or thick cream, as long as it's I'd say at least 18%, but I'd go for 32 myself. All right, we're just going to whip that up real quick in the mixer here. You can do this by hand, but hey, I've got a KitchenAid, so might as well use it. Now, one thing I did fail to mention, this is a frozen pie, so this is all going to be going in the freezer in various stages. I also did not show the making of the crust. I figured you guys could probably melt butter and throw it into some crumbs. The recipe originally calls for chocolate cookie crumbs, which I didn't have, but I did have graham cracker crumbs, and they work. So, hey, whatever you got, whatever you can afford. And just give this a quick mix up here. You don't want to over-mix this. You want to bring it together really good, but especially with that much fat in there, if you start mixing it too much, you'll actually break the base emulsion, and you'll end up with a separated and somewhat gooey mess. So we're going to take that off of there, and here's the crust. Now I melted a 1/4 cup of butter, mixed it with a cup of graham cracker crumbs, to make the crust. I just patted it in the bottom of this pie plate, and it's been in the freezer for about 20 minutes. And we're just going to take that peanut butter mixture, spoon it out of there. You can see a little piece of sour cream that didn't quite mix in, but there's nothing wrong with that. That'll get smeared in as we go. Unlike the cooking shows, I like to get every last bit out of the bowl. Now you just want to spread this out in a decently even and pretty area. So you just mix that sour cream in, it'll be alright. Just spread it out, make it look, make it look nice. You want it to kind of touch the sides a bit. If you'd like a thicker pie, or if you'd like just a little bit more pie, you can also add about a 1/2 block of softened cream cheese to this mixture and increase your powdered sugar by double, so it would be 6 tablespoons. But I just went with a simple basic. Alright, now here we have 2 ounces of chocolate. You can use semi-sweet, you can use really whatever you want. I went with a little bit of dark and a little bit of milk. Kind of a half and half thing. To that, we are going to add 1/4 cup of whipping cream. Once again, same thing, double cream, heavy cream, whatever you want to call it. Now, you can go to the time and trouble of doing this over a double boiler, which is fine. I just found that the microwave is a lot quicker. You just nuke that for about a minute, bring it out, and start stirring. If your microwave is very powerful, put it at 30 seconds and check it. This is not something you want to bubble over. Just keep stirring. It's going to look like a hot mess. It's not going to want to come together. The chocolate's not all going to melt. It will. Just give it a couple minutes. If you've cooked it a little too long, the chocolate may have actually burnt a little bit, which will be bitter and kind of nasty. So don't do that. Like I said, just get this all whisked up. I know it looks like it's already melted here, but I can feel the little bits as I'm mixing. So I want to make good sure everything's fully mixed and melted. Now, after this is mixed, we're going to let it sit on the counter and cool for about half hour or so. You want it warm enough to move, but not hot. This has been sitting for about 20 minutes, and you can see it's thickened a little bit. It's cooled off enough that it's not hot anymore. We're going to put that pie. We've had that pie in the freezer for probably about an hour at this point. Just to show it's solid, we're going to squish that little point down. See? Yep, she's solid. Plus, I didn't really want that point sticking up out of the pie anyway. So now it's just as simple as putting the melted chocolate over the top and spreading it out. Now, I did not have any extra nuts the day I was making this. The recipe calls for, and it would have been good, they took a 1/4 cup of chopped peanuts and just spread it in a circle around the outer edge. Didn't have it. Would have been nice, but like I said, you can afford what you can afford. You got what you got. Same thing. Just spread it out. Now, when you go to serve this, you can top it with a little whipped cream, a little drizzle of like chocolate syrup, or you can heat up a little chocolate ganache on the side to throw on top, which would be fine. Like I said, if you want a thicker pie, you can either double the recipe or add a half a block of softened cream cheese and double your powdered sugar to 3 tablespoons. It works just as well. Now we're going to put this back in the freezer for up to 6 hours. I mean, it should only take about really half hour to an hour to set up, but it'll sit there by itself for 6. Anything over that, though, I would cover it. You can see this is nice and solid now. I just take a knife. I didn't run it constantly through hot water because it didn't seem to stick too much, but if you notice it sticking, take your knife and run it under warm water, hot water. Dry it off before you go to make the cut. I cut this into 6. Because it's thin, I figure 8 might be a little small for the piece. Also, something you can do if you're having trouble to get your pies to release, cut a small round of parchment to put on the bottom before you pat the crust in. Should come right out. You'll see I had to pry just a little bit here in a second to get the pie to lift. Of course, with any pie, the first piece is always the hardest. Probably should have put the parchment down myself, but I didn't think it was going to be quite this tough to get out. And lift. Like I said, this is a great thing to take to the office party, or the big family get together at the holidays, or it really doesn't take that long. It's something to throw together tonight. Make all that crust up because everybody's like, I want all my crust. Like I said, definitely probably should have put that parchment down. It was a little tough. So here you have it. A little dollop of whipped cream on top of that would be nice. A little, not sour cream, cream cheese. Take a little cream cheese on whipped cream and throw it together. It'd be good. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the pie. I've really been happy with my series so far. And until next time, enjoy cooking.